Hello everyone and welcome again to our channel. My name is Caroline and I am a coach here at Create Your Future. So for those of you who are new to our channel, we talk here about law of assumption, how to recreate our lives in order to live the best life we possibly can, in order to have the best people in our lives, in order to be the best version of who we are, and to be presented with the best version of the people that show up in our lives, that we bring into our lives. All right, so today I am continuing answering subscribers, viewers, clients' questions. And before I get into it, I have a couple announcements. First, as always, we do have a free course that Amanda wrote, how to identify your blocks and manifest anything fast. Description in the box below. For me, if you want to have a one-on-one coaching session, same thing, down below in the box, you have all the info. It will take you to the website. You will find the 50% off all the hypnosis tracks bundles with the coupon code SAVE50, SAVE50, the numbers, and all the affirmation tracks that, there are a whole bunch of titles. Go through the list. There are a track that's about thought transmission. One is a high-speed rampage. All this is to help you focus on one topic at a time in order to saturate your mind. And you know what happens when that's the case. A belief is the repetition of a affirmation of a group of thoughts. And once we focus so much, and once we believe, once we assume, then all this is being pushed out, projected, mirrored in our 3D reality. So whatever we have in our 3D reality is a projection from our consciousness. Our consciousness is made out of assumptions, thoughts, and belief, right? So if you don't like what you see, if you don't like what you experience, we need to change the thoughts. We need to change the assumptions. We need to change the beliefs. And the support of affirmations is a great tool to do so. Hypnosis as well. And that brings me to the great announcement. The new thing is that as of now, I am going to offer one-on-one session with hypnotherapy. And these sessions will work that way. First you would have to book a regular session, because I need to know your story. I need to know what you want. I need to know where you stand. And then I can create, and I will create a personalized, hypnotherapy script just for you, just with your circumstances, with your situation, with, your blocks to overcome. And then during the second session, we will one-on-one do the hypnotherapy together. It's not going to be a pre-recorded track like the ones that I have on sale right now. This is going to be just for you, doing live in real time. Okay, so yes, I'm excited about this. Again, all the information will be in the box below that will take you to our website. All right, guys, so today, this will be the question. The subscriber says, sometimes I don't feel like going out with my friends. And these are really my 3 best friends, great friends. But sometimes I just don't want to do the things they're doing, and I feel forced. So what can I do? Yeah, what she wants to know how she can handle the situation without, hurting her friend's feelings, but also not putting herself in this uncomfortable position where she feels forced. Yes, so you know what? This is very interesting, because when you don't get the attention you desire from your specific person, when you don't feel chosen, when you don't feel good enough, when you don't feel that your specific person doesn't see you as good enough, sexy enough, beautiful enough, competent enough, intelligent enough, when you have all those assumptions in your mind, and you would say, well, see, look at my 3D reality. We're not together. My specific person is with somebody else, or he or she ghosted me, blocked me from all social media, or even worse, got married to someone else. So when this is the case, I always like to look at you and your self-concept. What assumptions do you hold about yourself? And are you a priority? Well, you don't feel like a priority in the scenario of the specific person because you're trying to manifest your specific person and right now you're not together. So one good way to also look at the big picture and how you actually treat yourself, because what I hear a lot in coaching is that clients would tell me, well, I don't understand because I do my affirmations. I do say I am a priority. I am my specific person's priority. I am chosen. I am claimed. I am wanted. I am desired. I am loved. And yet, even though I do my affirmations, even though I do any other type of techniques, scripting, visualization, meditation, hypnosis, whichever technique you choose, and then you feel stuck because it's not happening. It's not showing in your 3D reality. So looking at how you behave with your friends could be an indication, and it's not always the case, right? Sometimes you know where to set the boundaries with your friends and it's not working with your specific person. So now we have to look at that. But often, a lot of my clients who have challenges manifesting their specific person, it's nice to see how they position themselves with their friends. And in a case like this subscriber, she feels the peer pressure, she feels forced. And so she does do the things that she doesn't want to do in order to be with her friends. So now we look at what it is what do you believe? What do you believe? And the answer often is, well, I believe that I'm forced. I believe that I have to do those things. Okay, yeah, I get it, but let's dig. What's the belief behind this? And what would happen if you don't go? What happens if you tell them no? What happens if you resist the peer pressure? Oh, okay, well, let's look at this. And often I do get the answers, well, I'm afraid. I love it. Now we have fear coming in the picture. And fear is the one emotion that we want to dissolve, of course, right? Because fear will create the biggest resistance, the biggest blocks in your life. So what is the fear? Well, the fear is that my friends will be upset. Okay, your friends will be upset. They'll get over it, hopefully, maybe, or not. What are you thinking? Well, in this particular instance, when I do ask clients, they would say, well, no, I'm afraid that they will be so upset that they will not like me anymore, they will not love me anymore, and they're not going to be my friends anymore. So fear of rejection, fear of not being included, fear of not being accepted, fear of not being accepted for who you are, fear of not being allowed to have your own voice or to have your own boundaries. So you have to look at all this. So in this situation, you compromise. And when you compromise, you are not being your own priority. And when you're not your own priority, then this is becoming a dominant feeling that trickles to, all kind of relationships. It can show up within the family. It can show up at work with your colleagues, with your boss. It can show up with your specific person. So it's important to look at it. Now, people often are afraid to be their own priority because they feel that it's obnoxious. I hear this. But even though I can understand why you're saying this, you are forgetting the principle of the law of assumption. Nothing is real. Everything in your 3D reality is a projection of your consciousness. It is the result of what you have believed and assumed and thought about yesterday. And when I say yesterday, it's yesterday or just in the past, right? It can be an accumulation of an entire lifetime behind you. And you don't even know that's what you believe. So in this case, yes, I mean, I would look at all this and as I always tell you, because we're only talking about one law here, so the way we go about it pretty much is always the same. You have to talk to yourself and have the conversation with yourself. Say, okay, what's going on? My friends and their behaviors and what I assume their reaction will be goes under the category of circumstances. And when that is the case, circumstances don't matter. Why don't they matter? Because they are just a projection from your consciousness. They are a creation from your mind, and they're not real, even though they feel real because they're tangible, because you feel like, yes, but I can touch my friends and I can hear what they say and I can endure their reactions and I can endure their comments when they're unhappy with me. Well, that too, it's all part of a group of assumptions and beliefs that you hold in your consciousness. So you have to go back and not deal with the 3D, but deal with you and your mind. Okay, so how? Well, you look at what makes you comfortable. So if you feel forced, you are compromising. That's not feeling comfortable. So you have to entertain in your mind what makes you comfortable, what you'll be happy with, what kind of friendships you desire, what is the quality of the relationships you want with your friends, and recreate your expectations, therefore your assumptions of how they will behave. And so you're gonna have to spend time, take a little break from life in a way where you regroup, you sit down and maybe you write it down and you go over all this. Okay, this is the kind of friendships I want. This is the kind of things I want to do with my friends. This is where I set my limits. This is the boundaries I want with my friends. And you're clear with what makes you feel comfortable, where you are not compromising, and then you don't have necessarily to get a new group of friends, which you can. You can say, I'm surrounded by those amazing friends. My friends are so fantastic. They're great. They're so open-minded. They're so easygoing. They have, they go with the flow. And they're always cool with whatever I choose to do, whether I join them or if I skip this one time, and they're fine with it because they love me as much as I love them. And we don't have to do everything together. And they are completely accepting of every single person of our group of friends' choices and desires. So if somebody doesn't want to come that day, it's cool. And if does and let's say they're very respectful of everyone in our group, everyone's desires, everyone's needs. You have to start seeing your friends as relaxed, open-minded, cool people that go with the flow and always tolerate and accept your choices. Because you're not going to do, to say no to them because you don't like them. You're not going to say no to them because, out of spite, or because you want to annoy them, or just because it's revenge. No, you're coming from that energy where, you know what, I don't feel like doing this today. I don't feel like going to the concert. It's not really my music, or I'm tired. Sometimes we want to do things, and then when the day comes, then we don't want anymore. We're tired. We can't go anymore. And that's okay. Listen to yourself, listen to your body. But you have to cultivate that energy that your friends or the people you're dealing with, they're cool enough and they're mature enough to hear you out and know that if you say no, it's for a good reason, and they are loving people who will always support your decisions. You see what I mean? Now, when you think this way, so what I'm saying is that you can't recreate a brand new group of friends, bring a brand new group of friends into your life, but you can also start seeing your friends into a new light. Because let's be honest, when you say my friends force me to do things, it's probably because it's happened more than one time. So you were forced once, you were forced a second time, and now what's going on? The momentum that you have built is a momentum of resentment, because you feel that you are not respected in a way, your needs and your desires are not being respected, and you're pressured to do something you don't want to do. And the compromise is, if you don't do that, you may lose your friends, or they're going to be upset with you and you don't want to deal with the comments or the arguments or their anger. Who knows? So notice that when you build resentment, it's because you spend time dwelling on the one thing that you don't like. And that's very important, because this happens within you, in your mind, in your thoughts, and it's a story that you keep on repeating to yourself over and over. And that is where you have to completely change. You have to change your story. So you have to change your perception of your friends. And that you do it artificially. When I call it artificially, because you create from scratch. You can write it out and say, okay, that's how I want my friends to show up, and that's how they're going to show up. And then you dwell on this new story, you dwell on their new behaviors, you dwell on their new reactions, and you see them in that light, and you assume that's how they're going to show up. And watch and see, they will switch. They will switch. Because now you're not feeding your mind with the resentment energy. All right, does that make sense? I hope it does. Leave me comments in the box below if you need more clarification. I intend that it answered your questions. And as always, please, guys, keep those questions coming. I love them. And I feel like I'm having a one-on-one conversation with you. So, someone was detected at your front door. That's my Alexa. That's my new friend. Anyways, have a beautiful week, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.